Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of TCL. I hope you are all wearing your Halloween costumes. Rudy and I rooted through whatever closets and boxes we could find. I opting to wear my fiance's onesie of the internet's favorite dog, and Rudy just basically being swole like he normally is, but having a little bit of plastic, a little bit of padding to help out. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. Best part about our costumes is they are warm because it is getting chilly out there. But I am excited for some hot League of Legends action tonight. What a matchup we have. Two teams that have been kind of struggling to establish themselves beyond just being middle of the pack, beating the teams they're supposed to beat and losing to everybody else. I think it's going to be a very interesting one in terms of defining the rest of the season as we are into week 4 right now of 5 for normal.
Yeah, we are. And just to be clear, that is the Penguin Pajama Party, also known as Go Mega Part 2. And we have been continuing to ask ourselves, is this, that Oscar-winning Godfather 2, or is it one of those direct-to-DVD sequels? And frankly, the jury's still out right now, but we are in the regular season going up against Drink More Water, who we have seen absolutely dominate and get absolutely clobbered. So it's, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so either way, I think we're going to have a really, really entertaining series. And my eyes, I don't know about you, are firmly focused on the bot lane. That seems to be where a lot of these matches are won or lost for both of these teams. Ryoklu having an absolutely banana season last season, not quite able to find her footing this season the way that she's wanted to, not quite able to dominate the way she did last season. And on the other side, you've got Wojtek. So I'm a little bit more focused on the ADs. I know you're a supports here. Yeah. I'm going to let you talk about supports. But on the other side, I think Wojtek racked up 41 kills in one series, which was just ridiculous. But also, once again, right, when he's doing well, the team is vibing, but that's not always the case. So we'll have to see who's going to be able to show up and who's really going to be able to put themselves ahead of the pack, no pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, taking it like that, I think both Ryoklu and Voy have shown that they can pop off very hard, right? A-Barn is going to be favored over Verd, but Verd has had, honestly, a very steady season in terms of playing those long-range control mages mid. I can think of a couple Lux games and a Ziggs game where he did everything he needed to, didn't die in lane, came out with the lead, and just helped his team with that long-range AP poke. I think the real question is going to be on those supports because Swiss obviously has the edge over Espen. I'm hoping we can get a Thresh ban or a Thresh not ban through. But in terms, as we jump into Champ Select here, of what bans I expect, both top laners have very similar pools when we think about what we've seen them pop off on. Namely, Mordekaiser and Urgot. So I'm curious if we're going to see a trade or maybe a B1 pick for whichever one doesn't get banned out. Okay.
Yeah, no. I don't think anybody's going to let Sir Aaron have Mordekaiser for the rest of the season. They've made it. He's made it very clear that, and other teams have made it very clear that kind of when Sir Aaron is off that champion, he definitely has a little bit more trouble. He's got other picks for sure, but they are absolutely hard targeting Sir Aaron right now. We've got the Gwen pick or the Gwen ban on top of the Mordekaiser ban. On the other side, we've got Jinx being banned away, as well as Ivern and Rel. Rel being kind of a newcomer to TCL. And yeah, it could absolutely be a Thresh ban. No, it's a Lilia ban. So will they pick the Thresh? Espen has played Thresh in the past. No, it's going to be Urgot. So they're going to give away the Thresh. Oh boy, Rudy, I don't know about that. I think that's kind of playing with fire a little bit, especially considering just how good Swiss is on Thresh relative to the rest of his champion pool.
Absolutely. He makes that champion look S tier. And that's the thing about Thresh is however well you play it is however good the champion is. It has so many options in his kit. I think it's really,
no brainer.
Super unexpected there. You can't let it go to the next round in case Espen does decide to pick it up. But I think the strategy of targeting Zurin's pool is a great one. That's what my team did last week in our 2-0 against PPP is we just 3-banned Sir Aaron and then 2-banned A-Barn in the next round because he doesn't like to pick early. And that kind of limits what they want to do because they do want to play through that mid-top and kind of let bottom just farm up because Ryoklu is excellent at scaling into the games. So Thresh Jarvan, a lot of engage, a lot of pick potential there. Starting it off, I love it. Joe is a consummate Jarvan player, shown many times that he can perform admirably on the champion. And I wonder if we're just going to get Are they gonna I don't think you let AD go to 4.
No, I think they're probably gonna maybe grab their bot lane here or their jungler. There it is. Interesting. I was actually doing a little bit of digging to see the Lilia ban. There's the rise. Oh, so Abarn's getting really sick of not being allowed to play as champions. So
welcome to being I'll take mid. That man gets 5 banned every series.
Yeah. Well, it makes a ton of sense. And also you had mentioned it before with Verd. Verd isn't exactly going to play the kind of champions that are going to punish Arise, although Anivia is a giant pain. So they have decided that we are going to have kind of a late game battle if he locks this in. Oh wow! Yeah, the Zillion entirely. The Zillion is
up. Forgot about it.
Yep, that's so funny. We always forget. It's almost like you got kind of lulled into a false sense of security. Like, oh, he hasn't picked in a while. Zillion is Verd's best champion by a long shot. So just looking at what they have right now on the side of Drink More Water, I gotta say this is kind of a dream first round for them. They got everything they want. They've got comfort, and they're almost kind of forcing Penguin Pajama Party to react to them. So I'm curious to see what they're going to go from there. The Misfortune ban, that's squarely aimed at Voitech. I believe Misfortune was the champion that I think it was MF and Kaisa that Voy went bananas on, and then the Morgana being aimed at Espen, so potentially looking to attack the bottom lane because bottom lane is off the table. Yep, so Ezreal as well. But we've got AD and top still to be grabbed on the side of Drink More Water, and just the bot lane for Penguin Pajama Party.
Yeah, Kaista and Zaya are both up. 2 champions that have a lot of priority, at least. I mean, in terms of TCL, okay. I mean, what do you rip here? You want something with damage because you don't have a ton of that coming out so far. And at this point, I kind of expect Autopsy to play.
They need a hyper carry. They need a hyper carry for sure. They have a Zillion. Yeah, they have a Zillion. Go like swag pick someone. That's what I want to see.
Like, I mean, Zaya's who my mind goes to, but I don't know if that's quite enough damage. Malphite? Okay. So they're gonna... Ornn? I thought he didn't play Ornn very much. Okay. Honestly, I'd prefer that to be a Scion, but Ornn, great champion.
Yeah, Rudy, everybody plays Ornn. Come on, let's be real. I play Ornn, and I don't even play Ornn. Like, Same. It's you don't. The thing with Ornn as well, and we talk about this a lot, is just the free gold you get as you scale, and they're definitely looking to. Well, actually, I don't even know if they're looking to scale. I want to see them pick I want Drink More Water to pick a really nasty kind of mid-game snowballer. But I mean, we could potentially see like a hyper carry like a Vayne or someone similar as we see the Zaya being grabbed for Ryoklu. And Espen is last to pick. Morgana's banned away, which is typically kind of a skill counter to Thresh. Yeah. What do you think he's gonna get? Janna? Oh, okay, Raka.
Okay, or Soraka. They feel pretty similar. Just have different forms of disengage, the silence versus the knockup. Yeah, I mean, you said Vayne, and it's kind of stuck in my head right now. I'm looking at this, and Zaya's a mid-range AD carry, so I mean, a lot of people have more range than Vayne, but Soraka Zaya, not a very threatening lane. You can knock the Zac out of his jump, so you're relatively safe on the ganks. I don't hate it as a Vayne angle here. But, I mean, Varus, another one, you go the attack speed crit, like you are going to shred people with those blight stacks. That brings the damage to the table that I wanted to see, and also another form of CC and engage coming through. That is a lot of ways to lock somebody down on the side of Drink More Water right now.
Yeah, no, it really does. But looking over on the Penguin Pajama Party, you've got your late game damage with the Rise. You've got kind of your spike, your kind of lane bully-ish spike with the Zaya, and then Urgot can be a major problem, right? Urgot can be a bully. Urgot can be a problem. So relative balance. I will say I got to call out Drink More Water. I'm not loving. I don't know if Varus, just because he's low mobility, he can be jumped on very quickly. I don't know how I feel about him being kind of the only major damage threat. I know that Zillion can pump out the deeps, but it's so situational and it's not really sustained damage. So it's a bit of a concern for me. All of that being said, those are our opinions. What do y'all think? If you would like to jump in, hang out with us on the Spectre Delay, feel free to jump into the Armchair Analyst channel. We will pull you in. But yeah, Rudy, kind of high level. Let's look at this bot lane specifically because we had called out that as kind of our primary matchup, Ryoklu versus Real Clue and Espen versus Voy and Voy and Swiss. Swiss on his favorite Thresh. We've got the Varus for the damage. Curious what y'all think.
I mean, I look at these bot lanes and I think either Drink More Water is going to get 4 kills in lane, or it's going to be 0-0 and they're both going to farm it out. I don't think, even with the Zac coming in, I mean, the Thresh Flay, we all know Swiss is good enough at the champion to use it extremely effectively to keep the Zac from actually getting on top of the Varus. I don't see a lot of kill potential unless they're very, very clever about how they set it up from the side of PPP going into Drink More Water. But like, if that Thresh connects on the Soraka, I think that's a dead Espen.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And Espen not bringing the hard CC, that's something that is, it's kind of missing from this team, right? They've got the Xayah stuns with the feathers. They've got Zac, who's got Zac alone has a ton of CC, right? Urgot has the flip, which is technically more CC.
Disruption than CC, honestly. Yeah. Like, I understand it's very similar.
He doesn't have the lock, right? Let's specify the lockdown is missing right now from the side of the Penguin Pajama Party. And something else to call out, and shout out to the discussion in chat going around. They mentioned just the double utility to protect the Varus, right? The Thresh Lantern, right? Thresh Lantern, you've got Box, you've got Flay, you've got a million different ways to just kind of peel this team off. And because of the lack of lockdown, there's going to have to be a major positional error on the side of Voy. Otherwise, he's going to be raining holy hellfire down onto this team. Something else I did want to call out really quick. I believe, and if someone in chat, if this is not true, I believe that Zillion ult control Urgot execute. That is another consideration. Where if can someone confirm that if someone is Zillion ulted, and they get Urgot ulted, they do not die. They just kind of GA. Okay, cool. So that's another. There's just a lot of different ways that Drink More Water can kind of make Penguin Pajama Party's lives miserable, and I'm kind of excited to see it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of my takeaway. And I think Fruge had mentioned it as well. It's kind of a dream matchup with the Varus Thresh. That's two really strong champions. A lot of different ways they can kind of play this matchup. And Soraka eats 1 or 2 hooks, and her health bar gets low. She's not really going to be able to sustain through some of that kind of early laning into mid lane harass.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I are on the same page here, especially with the players being who they are. I prefer Drink More Water's draft. That being said, the other side definitely opted into a lot of comfort. Abarn has shown many, many times, like, his macro on Rise can change games. The way that he can get his team into position, maybe cross map for that Baron from the Dragon after like barely edging out a fight and rushing that down, or pushing a lane unexpectedly, right? And that Rise will scale and do a lot of damage eventually. It's just going to be difficult to outscale the tanks that are on the other side. I think it's going to have to be focus from Spurg on that mid-top to make sure that they don't like become unkillable too early. Also, give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm going to figure out how to get this prediction thing working.
All right, Rudy's got you. All of you degenerates in chat that are asking for internet points, Rudy's on the case. Don't you worry.
I was recently made a Twitch moderator.
Yep.
I don't know how to do this.
You're a Gamba enthusiast.
I don't know how to reopen it, guys. Some of you managed to bet. 2 of you managed to bet. Next time I'll add more time to it. That's on me. So yeah, that is what it is. But we are into game 1 here. Curious to see if we are any shenanigans. We do have a hook champion. Looks like PPP might be just stacking a bush to ensure that doesn't happen. Nah, they're branching out.
Yeah,
little 4-point from Espen right now.
Yeah, little 4-point from Espen. And Rudy, before we get started, as we see the 4-point, who do you think is going to take this game 1?
I think everything is in place for Waj to do what we've seen him do many times and kill everything. I don't think he's going to get 20 kills a game tonight, but I don't know. Maybe this is the team to let him do that. The Ivern did get banned away, which I think is just hilarious. Also, Verd, just auto him. Don't be a nice guy. Just hit him.
Oh, he's thinking about. Oh, what a bro! Wow, okay. Wow, Verd. That is like ultimate gentleman's. So that single act has caused millions of players on this server to reform.
But is it enough to save? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to bring up that team. Yeah. I mean, honestly, just a good show of sportsmanship to start off.
They have risen. They have risen from the ashes, Rudy.
That's true.
They are reborn.
Phoenix, It's Phoenix Rising.
The PR. Yeah, PR.
Reborn. Yeah,
which is my favorite new acronym. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, here we go. We're starting laning phase. It's just going to be some standard stuff. I going to see if Swiss is going to decide to be a little aggressive on the brush side. Yeah, he is. He's going to kind of push in, grab some souls, get some stacks, push up, maybe wait for one of those minions to one of those minions to clear, and then maybe slam a hook. Meanwhile, on the top side, normally it's two tanky bros hitting each other, but now we have a beautiful butterfly star guardian versus a Greek god, actually, because Ornn is based on Hephaestus, the god of the forge, who is pretty cool. And also, fun fact, married to Aphrodite, the goddess of love.
Yeah, but he's also the ultimate cuck, but because everyone knows Aphrodite's fucking Ares, so.
I believe they are siblings.
They're all siblings. They're all having sex anyway.
Oh.
Zeus and Hera are also siblings.
That is true.
Actually, also technically, Aphrodite...
Good stuff. So we see a hook going down onto Espen. This is what we were talking about, getting incredibly little. Espen flashes up, tries to get away, but that's going to be a first blood going for Wojtek, starting things off with a bang and a hook and a dead goat lady.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about, right? I think it's going to be maybe the 4 or 5 kill bot lane instead of the 0-0, especially with that start. Espen not respecting the level 2. You got to really be aware of that bottom lane. Actually, was that even... Yeah, that was level 2. He's still level 1. I mean, Ryokli did what she could, but at that point, Espen double sum blue still died. The early ignite preventing the heal from getting back up, and that's all she wrote because Waj held the his own Q, the piercing whatever it's called, and triggered those blight stacks. That was it. Yeah,
that was a glorious place. The piercing arrow. Not that creative, but it is definitely an item. It is a skill name in League of Legends.
Absolutely.
So, just a very important note that from the chat that if Espen had been on Star Guardian, he may have survived that gank. There is a hidden buff in the Star Guardian where you just look so fabulous that sometimes people do not gank you just out of. Just out of respect for just how cool that skin is.
Rook's here now, too.
None of this is true yet. Flash Flay in. Another rip onto Espen. He is very clearly the person that they are targeting. Another kill for Voy. And just a picture-perfect start for Drink More Water. And right now, they are drinking the blood of Espen, and they are going to continue to do that as long as his flash is down.
Yeah, I mean, Rook was there. Great gank by him, but I don't know if that actually would have mattered. I think Swiss had that angle no matter what in that 2v2. Just the amount that Thresh brings versus the Soraka at this point of the game is not a fair comparison. And I'm going to keep belaboring the point. Swiss is so good at Thresh. It's his best champion, and there's a reason this is the first time we've seen it all season. Not until week 4, because every other team has respected it and banned it, so is it a bit of ego from the side of them? Not sure, but they are backing on water right now.
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, man, Espen again. And this is just going to be deja vu all over again. And, yeah, there really isn't much more to say. They are just farming him at this point.
I think that was Swiss's Hex Flash, which means he was channeling that and not the back. Did they know that was on a ward and that was just all an elaborate bait because they knew somebody would come up to interrupt? Because he definitely flash flayed earlier. That was his Hex Flash that he channeled while Wojtek was backing. Wow, what a play.
Yeah,
this is the bot lane that has terrified people all season long.
Yeah, they are
delivered, but they're hitting on all cylinders right now.
Now, Rudy, you may take offense to this, but I do believe they are probably the best bot lane, if not the best bot lane in TCL right now.
I mean, it's a team game. I'm not going to say that we're undefeated because of our bot lane exclusively, but I agree. They're the bot lane that I least like to play against because the threat is so high.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I will say I just need to jump back. I'm trying to kind of jump between a couple different tabs while we're going. So just give me a yell if someone starts a fight. But I
Rook's
believe
about to jump in on top.
Oh boy, here we go. Here comes Rook. Rook's going to be able to get a very little autopsy. Sir Aaron doing such a great job of just wearing autopsy down over time. And Spurg is able to come in and secure the kill. So Penguin Pajama Party stopping the bleeding and keeping themselves in this game as we approach the 6.5 minute mark.
That's my fault. I definitely threw you off there and said that Rook was going in for the gank instead of Spurg. I'm just so used to seeing Rook on Zach. He's very good at it. But cross map now, we do so we want to. Excellent gank from Spurg. As you said, Sir had poked him down as we see the Drake started up bot side. I hated that flash from Autopsy. You just got to accept your death at that point. You're not getting out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not really able to take advantage of it. I'm actually trying to double check if any of the scholars can tell me. I believe Swiss played. I think last week he actually played. He was able to get a Thresh game, and he obliterated that game as well. I think that was in the Wojtek, but Abarn under siege by multiple members, including Swiss, just wanting to get that 100% kill participation. Abarn flashing out, baiting out the Ignite, and just an aggressive roam and just a full court press, or a full rift press in this case, on the side of Drink More Water. The top lane kind of being the one saving grace. Abarn, however, doing a pretty decent job of keeping the farm up. Verd flashing out. Spurg counter flash is not able to secure the kill. Yes, he did not burn his ult. His ult is still up. Flash is down though, and Abarn able to push in. And I wanted to call that out. The solo lanes of Penguin Pajama Party really setting them up for that 30-minute scale, because that is where they're going to really be pretty solid. And Sir Aaron, I'm curious to see how he's going to be able to press this advantage, because if these solo lanes can continue to press this advantage and stall this game out a little bit, they can slow this Wojtek snowball down. And that's what they're going to need to do. But right now, about a little less than 1,000 gold, 8 minutes in, and oh boy, Hex Flash coming in. Once again, there's the hook. Hook goes down onto Ryoku. This time, ulti and the root flash from Ryoku to get away, and able to juke out. The Blight Stacks do not ignite. Great mechanics by Ryoku to just stay alive, and the gold lead actually starting to shrink a little bit as we kind of creep our way towards the 10-minute mark. Rook having to stop the Herald. Verd coming in. Spurg is there as well, so this could potentially be not a stolen rift, but more just kind of a zoned out rift. But we are seeing a 2v2 situation. This could turn into a smite fight very quickly as we see Rook going in. Smite goes down. I did not see the indicator of who actually grabbed it, so I'm going to double check on this thing. But here comes the fight. We have a 3v2 situation in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party, and there goes the grinder. Sir Aaron grabbing a kill onto Verd. The ulti was not popped. Rook is low, and he's going to have to get out of there. But a 1-for-0 in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party, and Sir Aaron able to grab that Rift Herald. So overall, Penguin Pajama Party flipping what looked like an early game disaster into a winnable game, although Wojtek still very, very scary in that bot lane.
Yeah, they got too excited there. Great escape by Rook, but you never contest that. When you have your Ornn sitting under turret, you're not going to win the 2v3. Ornn can't get into that fight. And even if he does, you definitely take the side of PPP in that 3v3 at Herald. Not a great contest. Just give it. All your gold's in the bot lane, but hook connects from Swiss. Okay, just a little poke going down. Or a lot of poke going down.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah, we're at 10 minutes in, and I gotta keep saying, despite all of these shenanigans, the gold is even for the team. Can I please see the team, the gold for the individuals, just to kind of see where things are heavy? Okay, very heavy in favor of Voy, but Abarn and Sir Aaron very heavy in their favor. So we've got ourselves a really fun matchup where you kind of have two lanes on the side of Penguin Pajama Party looking great. Junglers are relatively even.
Yeah, I don't think Spurg has gone bot once, which is exactly what I expected from him, right? Focus on the other lanes, especially with that early kill. He is tanking turret right now.
Oh boy.
Solo kill.
Yeah, he is. Autopsy going for the solo kill and gets the shutdown. So just as we said, there was a bit of an advantage in the top lane. Autopsy working his way back in, and that call for Sir Aaron about to pop. Black Cleaver being bought for him, so he's going to have a little bit of an itemization advantage depending upon what Autopsy buys with that shutdown gold. But right now, it's really anyone's game. I do want to call out, though, that the scaling factor definitely favors Penguin Pajama Party.
I agree a little bit. I think both teams scale very well.
About that.
It's gonna be Let me expand once I figure out.
Please elaborate.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, Spurger not jumping in there. Don't be silly. A-Barn's backing. Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the Ryze scaling. Xayah scales extremely well with the amount of, like, honestly, just multi-target damage she can do with her feathers when she gets a few items. But, I mean, Zillion ult's going to get to, what, like a 25-second cooldown or something? You're going to be able to use it twice a fight in the late game. Looks like we're going to have a 3v3. TP coming in as well from Sir Aaron.
Oh, yeah, Flash coming in. There goes the flip from Sir Aaron. They're able to kind of silence down, and there goes the grinder once again. Sir Aaron, they invested a lot in this draft on that Urgot, and he is paying them back, looking really, really strong on what is historically considered Autopsy's strongest champion, and they're going to take the dragon for their troubles. We see a couple we see Swiss basically hovering around, but he's really not going to be able to do much. They should be able to take this uncontested, so that's going to be one dragon for one. A-Barn rolling up, trying to maybe push around Autopsy. Autopsy is a tanky boy, and we see some solid memeing going on in the top side from the most patriotic of the Rises.
Yeah, I mean,
as
Boy shouted out. Sir played that so well with the flash flip. I think Rook was just CC chain there. Maybe there was a Soraka silence because he was not able to flag and drag out, and it should still have been up. So great play by him. If he hadn't had that solo death under turret, I would say that he is taking this game over. But disconnected on the dive here.
Oh, yeah. So Rook's out a little bit late with Swiss falling behind, but Espen going to be able to get out with barely any health. That had to be about 20 health. So able to get away, slow things down. 2v3 situation that Spurg is diving into, but a lot of low health bars. Real Clue rolling in and just absolutely melting too. Voy is running for his life. Spurg is going to jump in, knock him up, potentially be able to slow him down and pull him back as Real Clue is in hot pursuit. Does grab him. Is this going to be enough for Real Clue to get back in? Flashes forward, gets the pullback, gets the shutdown. Penguin Pajama Party back in the driver's seat on this, only having to pay for it with the passive. What a turnaround in what was originally a 2v3 situation.
Yeah, I don't like to call too much attention to individual misplays, but also I'm an extremely toxic person. That one's on Joa. Like, he should not have gone on S-spin. Swiss connected on the hook under turret for the Xayah, and sure, she has ult, but it's going to be 3v1. The fact that they tried to, like, it was disconnected. They tried to get too much, you know, bit off more than they could chew there. They really, really did. Great ult by A-Barn, using that Ryze ult early to maximum effectiveness. Went all the way from base to the inhib.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just, it was too much. Just go for the Xayah, get that kill. Don't give Spurg time to get down there and get your entire team murdered.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You say that, and I wanted to call out that there's very clearly a strategy going on with Drink More Water, and especially in the early game, and it was kill Espen repeatedly, as often as possible, right? I wonder if that was a case of them marrying the strategy a little bit, where they were so tunnel visioned on that strategy, and in Rook's mind, he was just like, kill Espen, kill Espen, kill Espen. And Espen, to his credit, made them pay for it, right? Just by surviving and continuing to exist, he was able to bait them into a wonderful counter engage from the Zac. So that is something that Drink More Water is going to have to be really careful about, right? If they keep kind of tunneling on, okay, we got to go Soraka, which by the way is fair, right? In a Soraka comp, the Soraka needs to die first because her health bar is directly correlated with how much health she can give the team. All that being said, they need to be really, really careful about this as we see counter gang coming in onto Sir Aaron. Yeah, Spurg flying in. Now a 3v2 situation. Autopsy very, very low. They're going to go for a tower dive. That's another execute. Rook once again fleeing. Flash is back up under his turret. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay alive. No, he isn't. A-Barn grabs this 2 for 0 in the top lane. They're going to be able to take this top outer as well. Great play from Penguin Pajama Party, starting to run away with this mid-game. 50 minutes in, almost 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough. Verd has got to leave his lane at some point and go help on some of these Rise roams. And that wasn't even a Rise ult into lane. They just walked right up and countered on Joa because Joa was sitting on a ward in that Tribush for the longest time. At this point, it's not a matter of Penguin, God, I hate that name and you know it. Penguin Pajama Party, like, making super proactive plays.
Dude, it's PPP, yeah, you know me.
They are reacting so well right now.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Information they have to get in position and punish Drink More Water for anything they try to go for.
And that really seems to be Penguin Pajama Party's strategy is counter engages, right? They get Spurg in position, they bait a fight, and then they create a lopsided situation. They just did it in the bot lane, they did it again in the top lane, and because of it, now Ryoklu's 3-0-1. Spurg has perfect kill participation. Shout out Spurg, doing a great job in the jungle. And yeah, every single member, if we look at the gold has started to stabilize big time, which was, I believe it was 2,000 gold early, as we see Rook jumping onto Ryoklu. Wojtek is there as well. Ryoklu going incredibly low, having a ghost out, gets the root down, and she is
by Espen
there. Great. Yeah, well done by Espen, and they're going to disengage that one. But yeah, it looks like everything has pretty much stabilized, and that solo lane advantage for the side of Penguin Pajama Party is still there. And I'll say it once again, they really do have the scaling advantage, and they have multiple damage threats that can make some of these mid to late game fights very tough for Drink More Water.
Yeah, I mean, we look at that. Also, a couple of towers have fallen now as well, opening up the map. You see Sir Aaron establishing himself as the dominant presence, or at least a constant one, in that top lane, red side jungle. On the flip side, Dragon is about to spawn here at 17 minutes. They drop the Herald bot, gonna draw some pressure. Autopsy's backing right now to get his TP so he can be in position, but it looks like PPP is gonna start this on spawn.
Yep, and here comes the macro play from Penguin Pajama Party. We saw, see, I messed it up too. We saw that from them all last season on Go Mega. Sir Aaron just face tanking the entire team, going down low health, gets knocked up along with Espen. Wow, Rook and getting the steal on the Dragon, and this is actually just going to be a total rout for Drink More Water. Holy moly, where did this damage come from? Ryoklu is doing her best, but it is just not enough. A triple kill for a Void, and the fadeaway Ignite is gonna get Bird a kill, his second of the game as we approach 18 minutes. Gold is back even, but I will say Drink More Water has all of the momentum as this mid-outer goes down.
I wish I could tell you exactly what happened in that fight. I mean, Swiss missed his original hook, but I think it was just the Urgot dying so fast because a lot of that gold is on him. And Joa had just such a good flag and drag into the middle there to get the dragon at the last second. And I gotta be honest with you, I just now noticed that Verd had Ignite. He's kind of feeling himself right now with the Ludens, the Dark Seal, and the Ignite. Like, the man didn't come here to just play second support. He's here to kill A-Bar.
Oh yeah, he is vibing right now, and he is definitely vibing right now. I am a little surprised that he didn't grab the teleport just to be able to kind of apply that global pressure. But hey, you know what? You do you, man. The interesting thing I saw there was the way that the team lined up everybody for Void to just blast arrows through. He got, I believe he got 2 or 3 high quality, fully loaded arrows between the Ornn ult, between the Ornn Horn, the flag and drag. I think Swiss got a flay in there in a box. So they were all just so beautifully grouped up. And yeah, to add insult to injury, getting the dragon on top of it, that is this comp in a nutshell. And I'm going to eat my words in terms of, they might not have enough damage, because they just shredded through this Penguin Pajama Party squad.
Yeah, you look at it, Void is on 2 items now, sitting at 6-1, has completed Rage Blade and Kraken Slayer. I mean, Varus isn't going to stop getting stronger, but he is going to pump out the damages right now. If he gets a chance to free auto, things are going to die so fast.
Yeah, and something else to note is that Penguin Pajama Party needs to be really careful about these global objectives, because that, or even fighting in the jungle, as we see Sir Aaron getting jumped on, 3 members of Drink More Water are there. Sir Aaron flashing out, maybe going for a long-range hook, gets it! It wasn't a hook, it was an arrow, but
that was like a fifth of his health bar.
That
Blight stack just popped for.
Yeah, he had full blight stacks, and that's what you're looking for with the Varus, able to get kind of the fully stacked arrow, knocking him out. Wow. That Varus is nasty.
They got A-Barn TP out of that, and right now they're having to defend top while Autopsy is free hitting on the bot lane. Great dive from the side of drink more water, sorry. And that's what they've been looking for all game, right? Like, they've been making very proactive plays. This time, PPP just couldn't respond in time because Wojtek is doing so much goddamn damage.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that...
TP behind, though.
Yeah, we do see a TP behind, so I'm going to hold that thought as we see Surin coming and looking to get a little bit of revenge on his top lane opponent. Gets the stun down. Root is there, so the dash is completed. Flash over the wall. Counter flash from Abarn, just slinging away as hard as he can. I think it's going to be one more rotation to do it. Not able to get to the blast cone. Abarn getting the kill, and he's going to roll up in the top. Meanwhile, on the top side, Drink More Water taking full advantage of the sacrifice of their top laner to try to burn down this Baron quickly, and they're doing a great job. Spurg trying to do his best Rook impression, trying to see it, gets it canceled. Oh my god, what a play from Swiss Army. But oh my god, no, the Baron is not low. Who's going to get it? It's going to be a smite fight, and Rook is down, so it's actually going to be going. Oh my god, Swiss got it. How did he get that? That was absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god.
I was thinking to myself, man, I hate Wojtek's positioning right now inside the pit. The Rise ult is going to come through, and they are going to get just absolutely pinned. But the Lantern from Swiss just saved that play so hard. Obviously, PPB coming out ahead in that trade. 2 for 0, 3 if you're going to count the Ornn on the extended play because they tried to go for Baron when they did a top. But honestly, like, that was just all Swiss there.
Yeah, and he, speaking of Swiss, grabs another hook and gets Sir Aaron sent to the Shadow Realm. So in approximately 30 seconds, Swiss canceled a steal attempt, right? Stopped Spurg mid-slingshot, like literally mid-slingshot, gets a Baron steal on a hook, and then facilitates a catch onto their top, onto one of their most fed laners. This person needs to never get threshed for the rest of his TCL career, y'all. Pay attention.
100%. Great plays by Swiss. But yeah, the first ornament came through. Obviously, whenever Wojtek, you should have the upgraded Kraken now. I don't know what it's called, but he's at 3 items. The man is massive. Look at that attack.
Seething Sorrow.
Seething Sorrow.
Seething Sorrow. And that's going to be another dragon, and that's going to be Soul Point. Coast to coast global objectives for Drink More Water. And their comp is so well positioned for these tight kind of Baron Pit, Dragon Pit fights. And they are looking so good for how close this gold is.
I mean, absolutely. It's 11-11 right now. Less than 1,000 gap between them. I think turrets, a couple more turrets over to the side of Drink More Water. But right now, if you play it well, Wojtek is in the driver's seat and ready to steer this to a game 1 victory. I feel like have we seen a Zilean ult yet?
I haven't seen one.
Like,
let me put it this way. If it's gone, I believe Zilean ults have been placed on champions. I have not seen one go off.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed it.
They stay very effective, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the Zilean ult's going anywhere. Just letting the Baron sieges down. I like the respect. They should have seen Spurg on that red ward right there into it. But Abarn just solo pushing the bot, no objectives, and against the Ornn, he does just fine hitting. Free clearing those waves, even if they're Baroned up.
Yeah. Well, and Rudy, I'll have to ask you as I'm calling it. We'll have to see if they're actually using the Zilean ult, and this, I love the fact that I can use this word prophylactically, preventatively, in order to basically make Wojtek not a viable target, right? It's like, oh my god, I'm going to burst Wojtek. Oh wait, he has a Zilean ult. Don't do that. That's a waste of cooldowns. And I wonder if that's what they're doing. I'll have to watch again. I've just been so distracted by just the massive damage numbers and just all of the wild and wacky skills that I haven't actually been looking because there's just so much particle, volume. That's kind of hard to see the Zilean ult sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't know if there's a reason, but like I keep seeing like random like 9999999s dropping, so that's going to make it a little bit harder to see some of that stuff. But yeah, if I had to guess, I'm assuming that as soon as Voy starts getting targeted, Virtus slamming his ulti onto Voy, making him a non-viable target, and then that's why it's not going off, because they're trying to kind of refocus fire. But at that point, Voy has gotten 2 or 3 rotations off. But yeah, 25 minutes in, gold is still even, but
Abarn is enormous.
Yeah, and he really is. And I got
Voy on 3 items, Abarn also.
Yeah, 3,000 gold. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, how is this gold even? Because Voy's got a 2,000 gold lead. We've got, but yeah, Spurg, Rise, and Urgot all have gold leads on their counterparts. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's still anybody's game. You get one good Rise fight. There's just a lot of tankiness to burn through, and if Voy does not go down, like they may want to actually just burn that ulti and just knock him out. Because I don't really see how they win that fight otherwise.
2 levels up on Saren right now. I mean, Saren made some really proactive TP.
Zillion XP. It could be Zillion XP.
Could be. I mean, I would imagine that is a factor. Yeah, funnel that all into the Ornn so he does get those items out faster. But right now, both, obviously, Ornn himself, Varus, and Zillion all have those upgraded items, which the gold might look even on the graph, but that's, I think it's what, 1,000 to 1,200 worth of stats for each upgrade. So,
yep.
They wow. A little flashback to game 1 here. Disrespect this time from Spurg.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty tanky himself with the Radiant Virtue.
Yeah, and he almost has perfect kill participation continuing throughout this game. He has really made sure that this team stays in this game and that the carries are able to scale. You know, a lot of those counter engages at the between kind of the 10 and 20 minute mark, making sure that this really is a game 1. But all told, all eyes are going to be on Baron coming up very shortly in 30 seconds. Dragon not far behind. Drink More Water needs to make a choice. Do they want to go for the Soul or do they want to go for the Baron? Because every single one of these global objectives have been super tight.
Yes. I mean, with all your cooldowns up, the fact that the other team only has 1, I think if I am Drink More Water, I'm going to play for... Man, I'm so greedy. I like permanent stats more than a temporary buff. I always like Soul. But I think that's the wrong play. I think Drink More Water should just take the Baron. Excuse me, in trade for the Dragon. And use that to try to close out the game.
Yeah, and the Drink More Water buying time for Verd to get back into the fight, just going fishing. Yeah, this bot lane is going fishing. They are looking for hooks. They're looking for a million other things. Not quite able to get it. Abarn actually going for the 5-person Baron. They're just going to try to burn this thing down as fast as possible, but the ward is there. Drink More Water sees it, and this is the grouped up piece that they are looking for. Autopsy knocking 2 members up, including Espen. Sir Aaron goes down almost immediately. There's the box to zone everyone out. Voitex swinging free from the back. Abarn trying to be a hero. Shut down from Voy onto Abarn, and that's going to be Baron for Drink More Water, potentially putting a emphatic stamp on this game 1.
So I did look at it very specifically that time. Zillion ulted Voy as soon as Rise came out of the Hourglass. When he was at like 60% HP. Not necessarily the most... I mean, it's insurance, right? It's a fine play. Is it like gonna be the highlight where you barely save your AD carry before he goes down? No, but I mean, it enables Voitex to play forward and do whatever he wants. And did you see how fast he killed Sir Aaron? That was disgusting.
Yeah, the shred was pretty bananas, especially on Sir Aaron, who I believe has about 3,000 health. Up to double check. Yeah, he's got about 3,200 health, and Voitex is just ripping through him like he's made of paper. So yeah, the bot lane for Drink More Water really doing what they need to do in global objective domination for them. It doesn't matter if they have Smite. They have total control of it, and Penguin Pajama Party is going to have to decide what they want to do in this game 2 draft, unless we see a massive throw from Drink More Water. I feel like Voy would have to just completely step out of position solo into a brush full of into a Penguin Pajama Party, so to speak, where he is the honored guest and his reward is death, because Drink More Water is firmly in the driver's seat with Soul, with Baron, and with a gold advantage as we approach that magical 30-minute mark.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and a name that we haven't settled, or a couple names we haven't talked about in a while, Espen and Ryoklu. They've been pretty quiet so far, but Ryoklu also at 3 items. Knocked him in. Oh, we have an engage here mid, though. Oh.
Yeah, wow. Saren just getting pushed out. Espen's going to bring the Wambulance over,
right
try to heal them all back. But that poke is just absolutely brutal. This is that pick-poke siege comp that we always talked about, wanting to see with the Varus. And a lot of teams struggle with the patience to play off of it. This team is playing this to perfection. They are slowly just starving out and squeezing the life out of this Penguin Jared party. Spur going in for a last stand. This is going to be the fight if Penguin Jared party wants to win it. Rook Stout going down. Real Clue trying to be able to swing it. Goes untargetable, but gets knocked up. And Wojtek will not be denied. Holy moly, the deeps. We're going to have to look at the damage charts after this. That's going to be a double kill. Flash in from Swiss. Espen is out. That's a triple kill for Voy. And that's going to be all she wrote for game one as we see Autopsy doing that orange shuffle. He's a happy boy. He is going to be walking with his team in to be able to knock this one down with the help of the minions. Bird's going to try and get himself a little bit of the action, but Voy is like, nah, I'm going to grab the ace here, and that is going to be game one for Drink More Water on the back of an absolute masterclass from this bot lane. Holy moly, Rudy.
I mean, two things I want to highlight there in that last fight, just because their players who didn't necessarily do like the flashiest things. Verd got a Q onto Espen right before that fight broke out, and Espen was so zoned at like a quarter HP, couldn't be up there healing his friends, and Joa threw his life on the line to get there and cage 3 inside the box, which gave Ornn like 3 uninterrupted seconds of CC between hitting a 4-man Ornhorn, and then breaking the Jarvan wall to knock all of them up right afterwards. Just a disgusting combo by those two there at the end. And yeah, those damage charts are ludicrous.
Yeah, they are absolutely ludicrous, and it's very clear kind of where. Oh man, yeah,
it seems like every time they win, that's what it looks. So,
where they're going to need to make some
surprise, but
no, not at all. It's very clear where Penguin Jam Party is going to have to make some adjustments for game 2. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and see if they can make those adjustments, push us to some scrapes, or if the absolute sledgehammer of the Drink More Water bot lane will continue to swing away with the help of Ornn. We'll be right back, folks. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to, I believe it's week 4 of the
Week 4,
Tilt
day
Champion.
1.
Oh, yeah, week 4, day 1. It is our Halloween edition because, unfortunately, the Halloween game had to be postponed. I am Jaws, pretending to be a corgi. I am joined by Rudy, pretending to be, I don't know what you're pretending to be.
Pretending to be in shape. That's what I am.
Ah, I see. Okay, cool. I didn't say it, so we're all good. Yeah, and what we did see was just an absolute walloping at the hands of Drink More Water, Wojtek, and Swiss in particular, just leading the charge. And Rudy, I went back and looked at the last couple of rounds, and I looked in round 2 when Drink More Water played against the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. In game 2, that was the 41 kill series that Voy had, and Swiss played Thresh game 2, and Voy had, it was Jinx Thresh, and Voy had, I believe Voy had 22 kills in that game. So yeah, but you were mentioning that Swiss is kind of one of the most notorious. I don't want to call him a one trick because he can play like every other support, but it's just his Thresh compared to the rest of his pool is just absolutely insane. But we had mentioned Verd is actually kind of in a similar vote where he can play all of his champions at a fairly high level, but his Zillion really is a cut above. And we didn't really mention that as much.
I don't remember the specific stats, but I think there was a point where Verd was 9-0 in TCL games, specifically on Zillion. I think he lost right at the 10th, so it's not like he's undefeated on it. But his win record in TCL with Zillion specifically is through the roof. Like comparative, I would say it's probably the highest with a decent sample size from anybody playing any champion. And it's the first time he's gotten to get it this season, I believe, because teams tend to ban that the same way they ban Thresh because they're just so effective. Like Zillion, no matter how much you punish him in lane, first of all, kind of hard to do. He can play very safe. He has his ult to bail him out. Yep. But that ult scales into team fights so freaking well. Just a second chance for anybody who gets caught out or anybody you want to stay alive just a little bit longer. Disgusting.
And something else we had mentioned was the very sneaky utility interaction and gold value of Zillion plus Ornn, where Zillion can pump Ornn up and get him to those levels faster so that you can get those Ornn items out faster. So while the gold on paper or in Spectator was even, Drink More Water was able to power up faster because of that Zillion experience and those Ornn items. So a lot of very small, minute optimization details on top of the very obvious kind of playmaking and theatrics of the Drink More Water comp. Yeah. On the other side of the Penguin Pajama Party, there were definitely some bright spots, especially with the solo laners. But on the whole, it just looked like they stalled out the best they could, but that dragon fight, they just got completely outclassed and in terms of the damage, in terms of everything. And that Baron fight was an absolute tragedy with the kind of denial of everything. And yeah, it's just a couple of plays here and there that Drink More Water was able to use to just snowball the lane. Snowball the lane and then snowball the game completely out of control. But I was looking at those global objectives all day long to really see where this game went wrong for the Penguin Pajama Party. But as Game 2 draft is coming up, what kind of adjustments do you think we should see from them?
So I love that you brought up the dragon fight because I do think, and it's pretty obvious, I'm sure looking at the gold graph, that's where things flipped. That was the first time that the Urgot, who I have to give credit to Saren, he played his early mid game extremely well. He got caught out that one time under turret. It's fine. Happens to everybody. We're not pros out here. Yeah. But he did so good on the 1v1. The TP down bot with the flash flip onto Jarvan. And then he faced Voy for the first time. And he's like, oh, wait, I'm not the big swinging person I thought I was on the Rift. Like, there is somebody else out here with just as much gold and even more damage than me. So in terms of draft adaptations, the most obvious one from the side of PPP is just ban the Thresh. Like, don't ego it. Just ban the Thresh. Maybe take out the Zillion too, although I don't think you hate having Verd on it because he's shown this season he's just as effective on Lux, on Ziggs, right? Long range AP poke things that provide some damage and some utility for his team. right?
Yeah.
So the Zillion isn't a must ban, but the Thresh is. Just ban it. Drop the Lillian ban if you have to. Or maybe don't ban the Mordekaiser. I don't
Oh no,
think
absolutely
BMW is going
not.
to ban the Mordekaiser this time. I think they're going to try to first pick it, which means they have to think about banning it from the side of PPP
I'm
because
gonna
teams
double
will have
check.
flipped sides.
Do you know if I'm actually trying to double check if Autopsy plays the Mord? I know like every
I think
top
he
laner
does.
at this point
I think
plays
he does.
Mordekaiser, so I'm just gonna double check.
Okay, never mind. He does. He doesn't. Not enough to want to take it into the matchup because that was immediately the first ban.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking. I'm looking right now at his OP, and I'm not really seeing Mordekaiser.
Okay, so they're gonna first pick the Urgot instead.
It's yeah. I mean that, or they're gonna force the ban. Yeah, I would. That's what I would be expecting. But a lot of the same bands coming out. Yeah, they're very clearly targeting Sir Aaron. And you know, we focused a lot on that bot lane matchup. There's the Thresh ban. RIP. I mean, as one-sided as that game became, it is really fun watching Swiss on Thresh. He
Absolutely.
does really cool stuff, and watching Thresh in general. Okay, so there's the Rel.
Oh, I'm sorry, they switched out. What did they drop for the Thresh? Because the Rel and the Ivern are the same, and they're on the other side of the same.
Let me double check. As we see the first,
I love the Ivern ban because I don't think there's another team where you're going to ban Ivern. But Rook has shown that he's very willing to play it, and by God,
it was Jinx.
Effective.
Thank you, Mr. Producer. Hey, shout out to Hippogriff on the producer side, giving us the pro countdown, the 10-1 countdown as we were coming in. It was pretty awesome. And there's the Jinx first pick. That was the ban that they left up for the Thresh. So Jinx being grabbed by Voy. Voy, as I had mentioned before, last time he got Jinx, put up 22 kills. So pretty good on that champion. That champion's pretty strong. There's the Kai'Sa response. So we're going to see Jinx, Kai'Sa, Zac being grabbed as well. Loving this, especially with Jinx being a little bit lower mobility. Zillion is still on the table, so they could run a protect the president, or as Rook likes to say, Mr. President, get down. So I would expect some of that. Ivern is not there, and Ivern is the best Mr. President get down because they just create a brush when they're about to be targeted. But Zillion definitely still on the table, so curious what we're going to see. There's the Zillion Hover. There is the Zillion Lock. And we could see a support being grabbed, but considering the depth of Swiss's pool, I would be surprised if they grabbed him right away.
Yeah, I feel like you'd grab jungle and wait on the support pick. I love the Zac pick. Like, Spurg had a heck of a game as well. He had 100 KP until like 22 minutes or something like that. The man made things happen for his team, very effective with it, and paired with the Kai'Sa, phenomenal. Very strong.
All right. Okay.
So they're just going to lock in Urgot here. This is just R3 Urgot.
And we mentioned before, this could be Ornn Urgot again. The Ornn Zillion, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I love just the free stats that Zillion gets Ornn because of the leveling. Nautilus being grabbed, that is, I said this before, that is very much an Espen champ. Espen is a go in, go fight, especially from his jungle days. He likes to pick tanky engaged champions. So see him on the Soraka didn't feel like an Espen champ. You know, I always remember him for his Amumu, his Sejuani, like those land skill shot, get in there and just disrupt, especially with the Jinx. There's a lot of different ways where they could stagger their engages and have kind of an initial engage, force the Zillion ult, disengage, re-engage, which I really like, which is a new dimension that they didn't really have in that game one. Plus, man, love the sustained damage from the Kai'Sa, from Ryoklu, and something else is just that long-range snipe, the ability to just kind of go in, as we see Yone actually banned for Abarn. Yes.
Such a strong champion. Do not let Abarn play it. They have so many ways to get that ball into the middle of everything and just one-shot the Jinx. Orianna is just in an amazing spot in the meta at the moment, and I understand like wanting to ban the Yone to help protect Zillion, but I personally would have taken out Orianna and Azir because in terms of playmakers, those two are things that Abarn is extremely comfortable on. But they chose to go the Yone. We'll see what they do for this one. I'm thinking they might do Ryze, although I personally would prefer to play against a Ryze than an Azir, just because of the combat powers of that wall. And they take out the Darius.
Interesting.
So they left up the Urgot. They're saying just play it. If they do pick Urgot, then I really want to see a Warden's Mail come out from Autopsy early, because that means Urgot does literally no damage because of the passive on there. Like, his W ticks for nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't see it last time, and it's not that like. I think the only time Autopsy died in lane was when he got ganked.
Interesting. Okay, they're definitely playing Orianna.
We're saying we're killing Jinx here. That's what this is.
Well, I was also going to say they're definitely. I would be shocked if they did not grab Orianna. Ooh, we see okay, this is shout out to Rick, like the Brand Jungle.
Swiss is not. Oh, you can get. I guess it did get buffed. Yeah.
Yeah, Brand Jungle. I mean, it could be a brand support. There's the Sejuani hover. That looks like a Rook Stout champion. Although, shout out to Rook Stout. I believe he played Viego and was pretty nasty on it. So,
Belveth game earlier this season too.
Oh yeah, I know. It's the Belveth, I believe, not the Viego. Yeah. So Rook Stout is not a one style. It's not a one trick pony, not a one style pony. He can do a lot of different stuff. But that was the hover. I would love to see if Tiny Rick busts out the Brand Jungle later. I
want to see the Morgana jungle.
And that's what I want. Could we see the Kermit permitted as things are ticking down? Mr. President, get in my gullet. I will protect you. The Kermit has been permitted. The Kench has been unbenched. And he is back. I believe Tom Kench got buffed in the most recent patch. Aurelia grab for Abarn. So not the Orianna that we were hoping for, even though there are a million different ball delivery services, which could be a missed opportunity. But all told, we have got a press R and murder everything comp on the side of the Penguin Pajama Party. And on the other side, it is a classic VIP protect the president comp with a Tom Kench as Secret Service. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a fun one.
I am not a fan of the Aurelia pick into stuff like the Sejuani. Excuse me, sorry. It is triple melee with the Sedge, the Ornn, and the Tom Kench. I think Aurelia's going to have a pretty tough time navigating some of these fights. We'll have to see how Abarn manages to do with it. But I think, man, I would have just loved to see the Orianna there with the Malphite, the Zac, and the Nautilus. You would have been a little magic damage heavy, but you just go the Kraken build on Kai'Sa, and you're fine.
It's not, I mean, there's, and especially you want to have kind of that damage diversity because Kai'Sa can kind of mix things up and go whichever way she really wants to.
There's 3 different Kai'Sa builds right now. You got the Storm Raiders, you got the Kraken, and you have the, not the Yomus, but the Ward one. Completely blanking on the name, but the really cheap lethality one that gives you vision or reveals vision. A lot of variety in terms of what you want to build there. Kraken, I think, is the one that scales the best and is what I expect to see coming out this game. Leaves them like a tiny bit light on magic damage, but that's mostly what Zac and Malphite are going to be doing. So it'll be fine. You're going to be able to kill the tanks if Kai'Sa gets enough items.
Yeah, for sure. And just a quick shout out if anybody wants to give us your opinion and talk on stream. You got about 2.5 minutes. Jump in, armchair analyst, and let us know what you think. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I really think Drink More Water has the advantage here. They showed that this is the kind of comp they want to run, and by allowing the Zilean through, they're going to run this. Like I bet they will run this if they win this with emphatic fashion. They're going to run Ornn, Zilean, Jinx until the cows come home, and just swap in jungle and support, Ornn, Zilean, hyper carry, and just run that for the rest of the season until they decide to stop disrespecting Verd Zilean. Because as you said, his win rate on Zilean in TCL lifetime is bananas. And I will also ask any of our statisticians, if anybody could get me lifetime champion win rates in TCL, that would be awesome. Because it would be such a cool way to look at this. I would love to see Swiss lifetime on Thresh, Verd lifetime on Zilean, Abarn lifetime on Rise. There's a lot of really cool stuff.
Really quick call out. The prediction is live in the chat. If you want a chance to earn a lot of money, somebody bet 133,000 points on DMW, which is by far the largest pot I've ever seen. If I hadn't started the prediction, I'd love to get a piece of that action. Even if I do think DMW is positioned to maybe get that 2-0, those are some great odds, everyone. Get in there and see if you can get your.
No, they are, and let's be real, y'all. Like, Abarn on Aurelia is a fairly high win rate, and him and Ryoku can rock this through, right? They could win a game if Wojtek takes one step out of position and Swiss is not in the range, or Zilean is not in range. They could absolutely do that. Do I think Wojtek is ever going to be in that position? No, probably not. But he could be, and if he does, this team's going to jump all over it. And the long-range engage potential from both Zac and Kai'Sa is not to be understated, as well as how long these fights can go. Kai'Sa and Aurelia have a lot of long damage, so they can engage, waste, or bait out certain cooldowns disengage, re-engage. Do that, rinse and repeat till the cows come home. Try to catch them in a rotation. There's a lot of cool stuff they can do.
I mean, absolutely. And Irelia is one of those chances that A-Barn is absolutely a pocket pick for A-Barn, right? There's specific matchup he likes it in, but sometimes when his back's against the wall, that's just what he defaults to. It's like control mages and then Irelia.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah, no, he does. All right, so Rudy, back to the wall. Who's going to take this one?
Let's see. I mean, if Jinx dies, they are severely lacking damage, but that is the story of this team and of their season, right? If we don't protect Wojtek, we're not going to win the game. With the Malphite, the Nautilus, the Irelia, the Zac, back to the wall, I'm putting my money on Penguin Pajama Party. I think we're going to see a third game tonight.
Okay. I disagree. I think this is going to be a 2-0 stomp. Okay. So that is
in the caster's booth. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at the combo, and it's just there's so much that can go wrong on the side of Drink More Water, and they can still win the game. And there's a lot that needs to go right on the side of Penguin Pajama Party, and they can still lose the game. So at the end of the day, I think the one saving grace that we didn't really touch on. Wow, this is insane. They're letting Verd bake brownies. That's incredible. Like, or is it gingerbread people? He's letting Verd bake gingerbread people for Tom Kench.
Finish the emote, or actually,
you got to feed him to Tom Kench. That's just what sportsmanship we are seeing, where you allow your enemy to bake goods during this festive holiday season for his support, before his support eats his carry.
I'm ready for it. Halloween's over.
Yep. Well, it's good. Just rip. It's not even Halloween. You just rip the costumes off. We're off to the races. But anyway, y'all. Yeah, it is game 2. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win. As we're kind of chugging away, the 4-point is done. The jungles have started both top side, and we are into this one. And yeah, I'm still looking bot side, but top side, a little less exciting than it was last time, but it can still be spicy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in terms of level 2, much safer for Espen and Ryoklu this time than it was last, right? In fact, like, Swiss needs to be careful. Swiss and Void needs to be careful that the Nautilus hook doesn't catch them out, although they do have the push here. Not sure how that happened, because Ryoklu and Espen were in lane first. Might need to auto a couple more minions there. All good. As you said, parallel starts from the junglers, both on the top side working down. Zac choosing to skip over his Krugs and red, so will be bot faster. Scuttle doesn't spawn until 3:30, so curious if he is looking for an early, like, level 3 play on the bot lane, and that's why they decided to let it push, so the wave is in a good position for Zac to get in. But Swiss on an extreme... Oh, okay, he's just walking up for ward. I was going to say, that is the earliest support roam I've ever seen. Not a great idea, because those early levels do matter quite a bit. Yeah,
absolutely, and I actually just jumped back and took a look. So what happened was Ryoklu, they pushed the wave, and Swiss and Void just sat in the wave and just prevented Ryoklu from walking up. Swiss had a really good angle on the tongue and just wouldn't let Ryoklu walk through. And it was just a lot of just really good positioning, kind of like we'll call it non-play, where they didn't actually press their buttons, but just their positioning and their presence prevented the level 2. Yeah,
looking at Zac immediately, they know exactly where it is. Wow, very heads up from him.
Yeah,
Berg walking in, seeing he can take away the Raptors, but right now he has just got nothing to do because his bot side is empty.
Yeah, drink more water with the as we see a channel. I was going to say we have a bloodless early game, but Spurg's looking to change that. Actually, canceled it. Yeah, we see a lot of really good bloodless tactics from drink more water. Just doing a lot of things that don't involve pressing your buttons to just give themselves an advantage. And it's you focus so much on the fights and the mechanics and stuff, but there's so many little things that are happening that allow you to do that. As we see a slap fight from Rook trying to push Spurg out. Spurg does secure the scuttle, as we see another push up in the bot side, but in the mid lane, Verd getting jumped on, and that's going to be first blood for A-Barn with his last gasp of mana getting ahead, and that may have been why he grabbed Aurelia, just to try to snowball. Now, Verd's still going to be useful no matter what, because he can still press R. But man, because he just
this would have been
Rudy.
Honestly,
sometimes it's about sending a message.
I would have loved to see the exhaust this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not the TP, just take the exhaust.
No, that's absolutely true, and that may hurt him later on. But Abarn definitely kind of knowing these different matchups and seeing the opportunity to just beat Verd up, and that's exactly what he did with the solo kill, starting this game on a very, very different note than game one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Espen is positioning much better now, but earlier, as was called out in the chat, he was not giving his Kai'Sa a lot of room to walk up. As a support, the most important thing you can do is just like maintain those zones. Not throwing the hook is so much more valuable than throwing a hook right now, just because you have the threat if they step up, you know.
Yeah, and as you can see, with the
create space for your ADC.
And you can see with the positioning, Swiss making sure that if a hook goes down, he is eating it. And Tom Kench is perfectly happy to eat anything, including skill shots, getting a lot of that sustain, a lot of that shields. Wojtek just continuing to keep the push on. And it looks like they have really good tracking of the Zac. They are not scared of this at all, but Sir Aaron should be scared. He has got almost no health left. His flash is up. He flashes out. Counter flash from Rook. Rook misses the slap, but the final flay is going to do it. And that's going to be a kill for Rook. So first solo kill going to Abarn, getting the first blood. Rook turning around, continuing that pressure that we have saw in game one, making sure that Autopsy able to get whatever advantage he can against this Malphite.
The timing of that was pretty interesting because Autopsy, I didn't check the health bars up there, but Autopsy had already backed and TP'd in. So he had, I mean, the HP advantage did make a huge difference in that fight specifically, but I'm curious what circumstances led to Autopsy backing so early. Obviously, it worked out for them. Autopsy is here at level 6. Ferg coming in at level 4, trying to last a slingshot.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't land the bounce, but he does get the grab. Autopsy trying to dash in, but the immediate ultimate from Sir Aaron, unstoppable force, knocking him up. Horn comes down. Autopsy trying to buy as much time as he can, but he is going to go down. The only question is who is going to be taking this kill. It's going to be Sir Aaron. Sir Aaron grabs it. They're going to be able to hard push this wave in and claim that advantage back. So initial gank from Rook, counter gank from Spurg, and we are even across the board. The main difference being that kill going to Sir Aaron and Rook securing it on the side of drink more water.
Autopsy had flash for that. I think after his dash.
Oh, he held the flash.
Yeah, if he would have been. This is not the time to hold flash. If you would have dashed and then flashed the Malphite ult, you were just out. I don't think he played that perfectly. Again, not flaming him, but he had some options there to get away. He's pretty tanky, and Malphite Zac, not exactly the highest damage combo in the world. It is okay, though. Great gank by Spurg to get up there and create some pressure back after the other jungler had invested some time. Right now, we do see the early Drake startup. Sedge is in the area. Zillion's running back from base right now, which means the numbers do favor PPP at the moment. I don't know if BMW has any idea this is happening.
Yeah, PPP definitely in position for this dragon. Doesn't look like it's going to be contested as we see Botlane walking back. So it's just going to be a mid-jungle take on the side of the Penguin Pajama Party. First dragon going down. And as you mentioned, Autopsy still with his flash up absolutely could have gotten away. He just could have W and flash, but he did not. And so now this top lane a little bit closer than they would have wanted it to be. But looking at the gold across the board as we're approaching 8 minutes, pretty close, a little bit of an advantage on the side of the Penguin Pajama Party plus that dragon. But in terms of individual gold, little bit on the side of Abarn with that first blood and a minuscule. But yeah, Espen getting grabbed. There goes this flash coming in. But the counter engage from Spurg, turning this into a 3v2 situation. Oh, wow. Great knocking their heads together. Wojtek flashes out. Ryoklu dives and gets exhausted immediately. And Swiss keeping Wojtek alive. Wow. Great play from him. Espen taking a parting shot. And he almost gets the double with the long range hit. Oh. And Voy, wow, takes the harpoon, walks away. And that is close as you are going to get. Every summoner burned across the board and no deaths.
Wow. Very, very well played. The exhaust was when Kai'Sa ulted, I'm like, okay, that's a double. Easy. But the exhaust came through. I guess Verd didn't take it because Swiss did. Wow, what a play. The Jinx Rocket followed by the Kai'Sa W on
real quick,
either end.
Can we jump bot lane? I want to show the lane state too about how even that. Oh, no, okay, never mind. After that, no, Saren's about to die, gets Ornhorn. The lane, but sorry, I got so distracted by the lane state because it was such an even fight, the lane state just reset. And so it's just
Really?
just minions
Everything
killing
died?
each other. Anyway, you can jump
Everything.
back up and show them beating on the turret and getting some plates. I just thought that was, I just loving looking at all these different ways that, you know, kind of as they're kind of murdering each other, the minions just reset. And yeah, Autopsy actually able to get a couple of plates off of that. So starting to pull ahead in that matchup, and Sir Aaron just getting punished.
I'm surprised they didn't Herald there and just maximize the value of that dive. Because Rook did take Herald during that bot lane kerfuffle. Maybe they want to save that for the next dragon, but Spurg is back.
Yup, and Espen is broadcasting it. He's going in as the knockup goes down onto Swiss. Once again, the knock together and the Airborne. They are dropping the cabinet onto Swiss RB cabinet. Just try to get the kill, but they can't. And Abarn's coming in to try and finish things off. He's able to succeed. Voy not able to get what he needs. Oh, Abarn! Oh, he's able to survive. But there goes the shutdown onto Rook Stout. So a bloody 1-for-1 Abarn able to clean up Swiss Army cabinet. But that bot lane is not making it easy. And Penguin Pajama Party has to throw absolutely everything they have just to even think about a kill.
The only question I have after all these bot lane fights is, why is Espen not 6 yet? We've seen 2 rockets from Jinx. We've not seen a single depth charge from the Nautilus. If he would have been 6 for either of those fights, obviously the first one was a lot closer to like where I'd expect him to be 6, but the second one, absolutely a kill on Swiss immediately.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, while that was happening, Rook fought topside, took Herald, and is now dropping a bot lane to unlock Voy. And all told, we were mentioning, as we see the slap fight, yeah, I don't care about that slap fight. I don't care about that slap fight. Those tanks can hate each other.
Top laners everywhere.
They can hate each other. No, I actually want to see bot side. Thank you. So 11 minutes in, no, I got excited about macro play for one thing. We're not gonna make that a thing. As we see, 1,000 gold lead. Even though both bot lanes walked away, Voy still walked away with a major advantage. Looking at that CS lead, it's very, very obvious. Autopsy gonna be able to W away. But Voytech and Swiss Army Cabinet are winning this bot lane battle, and PPP is going to have to do something about it because they are applying a ton of pressure and a ton of resources to stop them. And looks like Drink More Water is going to be able to unlock their bot lane pretty quickly before this Kaisa can really get revving.
Honestly, Autopsy should have stopped his back there. The Dragon's coming up. The team's about to set it up. If you can delay the jungler at all, that's so worth you waste like losing a couple more CS by keeping the jungler in the area. But
oh yeah, for sure. It's
so yeah,
everything is fine
here in 25 seconds. Going to be a pretty pivotal fight. We do have sorry, not alts. Oh my gosh, TPs from both top laners, but Autopsy bodied Sir Aaron at some point. Sir Aaron had to ult out.
Yeah, he Ornhorned.
He on cooldown.
Yeah, he Ornhorned to knock Sir Aaron out of that tele. Oh no, they don't have teleports, dude. Both the teleports are up.
That's what I said. Both have teleport to this dragon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you said both of them tried to challenge.
No.
I was like, no, they didn't.
Both the alts are down.
Yeah, they both. Yeah, they did. They did run into each other. Ornn spiritually and Malphite physically, but they are pretty dead even. The one main thing is that Autopsy did finish his Aegis. His Sunfire. Whereas Sir Aaron does still have components, so that could be a bit of an advantage moving in. The fist's not finished, but the dragon has been started on the side of the Penguin Pajama Party. We see a back from Zillion. Verd does not have teleport, so they're just going to give this up.
Why are they giving this? I don't understand.
I don't know, Rudy. Why do we do anything?
Well, normally because it's fun, and winning is fun, but I guess they don't want to win? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, but it's going to be, it's going to be a Chemtech.
Yeah, I mean, I love what Sir Aaron did there. You walk bot, and then if you have to, you TP back top lane. He's going to just even hold the TP and walk his way up there. But I guess they just decided to give. They don't think that they're strong enough yet to contest. And if we look at items, pretty even across the board in terms of where those breakpoints have come in. Neither jungler finished, but the mid laners are. A slight edge over to Drink More Water, but in terms of like taking that fight, nothing too impactful for the Sunfire versus the Sheen.
No. Sunfire versus not Gauntlet is not gonna turn the tide, especially when both of the major ultimates are down. So, we'll have to ask after the fact if there were any conversations around that. But it is a bit of a head scratcher that it looks like Drink More Water is really ceding a lot of these dragons, and their timing is really off. And we had mentioned before, Verd not taking that teleport, so not being able to back quickly and then rejoin these fights, so not able to apply that global pressure that he wants to. 2,000 gold lead, however, on the side of Drink More Water. So I wonder if they're just comfortable kind of playing the tower game and setting themselves up for this first Baron, which looks to be spawning in... Oh, no, not going to be spawning for a while. Leave Herald.
Next Herald.
Oh, that's next Herald. Next Herald's coming up.
It looks like Rook is interested in it. They will know this. I'm just going to blast.
He did take first Herald, so maybe they're like, all right, we'll give you Dragon, we'll take Herald. But yes, it could be. Oh no, he stops.
Do it. Oh, because Rook showed up. Nice, good call. Call it off.
Good job. Yeah, well, that's actually an interesting note. I wonder if they're like, you know what, we're just going to take Herald and unlock Voy and Swiss as fast as possible, because Swiss can move Voy around the map relatively quickly, or a little bit more quickly than he can as Jinx.
Not like he used to.
True.
The Eat is the ult now, so it's not like he's eating and running.
True. Makes me sad. I love that. That was one of my favorite abilities, where he just like fly across the map and just show up. Yeah. Uninvited. As we see, Death Charge. Yep, Death Charge number 1 coming down. Spurg forcing the flash out from Voy. Gets the pull, gets the knock. He has been on point with those knocks. Has only been able to get one, but once again they survive. And Abarn's here once again for the tower dive. I'm seeing a deja vu. Exhaust going down immediately onto Abarn. Abarn, however, going to be able to kill Swiss once again, but Berg is there trying to make something happen, but he's only going to be able to chunk out Abarn. So now, Penguin Pajama Party knocking on the door of knocking down the first bot lane turret, even though they've actually been behind in this lane. So great allocation of resources, solid roam from Abarn. That's the second one, able to secure another kill as we see Autopsy trying to beat down on Sir Aaron. Ahead in the health fight and a little bit tankier, but all told, I don't know, this one's kind of, it's a bit on a knife's edge right now, and there goes the Herald once again. So while all this was happening, Rook taking Herald, knocking down mid-turret, and really opening up the map.
Some just choices are being made, and I'm not saying they're the wrong choices. I'm not going to say I fully understand the choices, right? Another 4-man dive bot that results in somebody dying, whilst on the other side, you do manage to pick up the Herald. Obviously, they used it effectively. They unlocked the mid-turret. Very important to do. But, I mean, they traded Swiss's life, Voy's flash, and Swiss's ult for all of that, if you really consider what it is, and put another kill on Abarn. Van strong. And again, as we talked about, the key to Drink More Water's comp is going to be making sure the Jinx has agency in these fights and is able to do damage, because there's not a ton of it coming out from everywhere else. And Irelia is a great answer to that.
To be fair,
they
got bot outer. Voy is about 1,100 gold ahead of Ryoklu, and they're now going to be able to roam. And Swiss has done a great job of keeping keeping Voy alive. So,
I mean, I'm
not, and I will say one more thing. I will say one more thing. A lot of resources are being invested by Penguin Pajama Party for not a lot of output, and Rook is just taking Herald for free every single time. So I can see the logic behind the decisions, but yeah, they were definitely kind of pushing Voy and Swiss on the back foot. But I got to give Rook a lot of credit for seeing and kind of understanding what the strategy was and just getting something off of it. And I'll take mid outer versus bot outer any day of the week. It's great, and they can stall out long enough for Jinx to come back.
I hope they don't regret at some point the time that they spent getting those when we're at soul point and they lose one fight in the mid game and suddenly the other team has the soul, right? Well, like that's the only thought.
No, I think that's totally valid as we see a channel coming up from Zach. Oh man, here he goes into the back line, gonna be able to get a knock up. The Ornhorn rolling in, not able to pop the Ornhorn. Wojtek being pushed out by the depth charge. Ulti is dropped, and Voy is going to be swinging with his low health bars. Gets the reset, is pushing back onto Ryoklu. Gets kill number 2, kill number 3, potentially kill number 4. No, Sir Aaron flashes over the wall. So that is going to be a 3-for-0 in favor of Drink More Water. Wojtek, though, looking for blood. No, just going to get the zap, and they're now looking for their first dragon. So once again, in that first dragon fight, Drink More Water cracking this game open.
I mean, really, really well done fight from the side of DMW. They did exactly what they had to. I think the most important part is that Ward VC Verd walking by right there. They had full vision of Spurg the entire time. He still got the knockup onto Wojtek, but the instant eat by Swiss to buy some time meant they couldn't chain that knockup with the Nautilus ult, which came through later when he had time. And Wojtek actually buffered the Nautilus, or buffered his ult with the Nautilus ult, so barely lost any DPS during that fight. A-Barn was in the middle of it, but without Void to jump on, he can't do too much to those tanks at this point with just the Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to make some adjustments and potentially start some split push situation with A-Barn just because he is so far ahead. Because a straight front to back is going to be really, really rough, especially with Wojtek free swing. Those health bars absolutely melted.
It needs to be a dive comp. Like, you have to be able to get on the back line, and as you said, Mr. President, get down. Tom Kent's pretty good at saying no to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll have to see if Swiss, see if anybody chat saw if Swiss actually was able to grab, had to pull Void out. I saw Void just walk away. So I don't even think he. He did. He did get ulted. Okay, and then he walked away after the depth charge.
It was Zach, Tom Eat, and then when he got spat out, Nautilus ulted, but he walked back during that and was by the Raptors for it.
So credit, that's great stagger, right? Forcing him out, but then Wojtek just
that's what I'm saying.
swagging
they stretched out the CC chain, so Wojtek was able to survive it, and then like all those tanks, the Sejuani getting the stacks and everyone right. You got the Tom Kench stacks as well, but play in the mid lane. That's been ult down.
Yeah, Verd ult down. He uses it on himself, but that's 3 members and nowhere to go. He's gonna flash on top, and he's going to try to speed himself away. Ryoklu going to secure that kill onto Verd. So Zilean ultimate down, flash down. This is the window that Penguin Pajama Party needs to kind of work their way back even in this game.
And they're eyeing Dragon. Irelia not there. Ornn with no TP as well, which means it will be a 3v5 contest. A couple of key ults out. Obviously, Nautilus and Kai'Sa using their ults in that fight, but Spurg still has his. And this is not a fight you want to take if you are DMW.
No, it looks like they're just gonna zone away and start up on this Baron, trying to take advantage of the fact that Verd is down. They are all grouped up nicely for a potential Sejuani ult, Jinx rockets, you name it. And the question is going to be: are they going to finish the Baron? Are they going to push off? Or are they going to decide one or the other? And there goes the Sejuani ult, only hits A-Barn. A-Barn's being pushed out. This fight is split. You see Spurg and Sir Aaron on the left side of the map. Spurg actually using his elastic slingshot to try to get a better situation, but this is just going to be a slow chase down of A-Barn. Rook on a rampage, so it continues to be a 5v4 situation in favor of Drink More Water as they are rolling down this mid lane, and it looks like they're just going to try to take the mid inner turret and continue to open up this enemy jungle.
Yeah, just so much CC from the Ornn there onto A-Barn. He couldn't do anything.
Oh, they're going to keep going. Wow. X-Men just gets jumped on and deleted. Verd is back in the mix, and he is hawking clocks like he is a salesman. They're just going to roll in, and now they're pressuring. Oh my God, they're pressuring the inhibitor. So what was originally a Baron dance is now inner inhibitor turret, inhibitor, Drink More Water in the driver's seat as we are approaching, I believe, the 25-minute mark when the stack comes back up. 22-minute mark, close enough.
The longer they can stretch out these fights, the better they look for the side of Drink More Water, right? They're the ones with the consistent long-range DPS, and Kai'Sa's not... I mean, the utility from Kai'Sa is going to be, like, following up on that Malphite ult to make sure the Jinx does die. The problem there is you're going to be in the middle of everything, and you have the Zilean and the Tahm Kench to prevent that. So Kai'Sa's expectively neutralized in a lot of these. The comp is working out in favor of Drink More Water in terms of what they were planning to do from the draft on.
Yeah, and I'll just repeat what I was saying. Zillion Ornn is really, really annoying. I mean, yeah, Jinx is a pain and Tom is a pain, but that Zillion Ornn combo is just, it's just there, you know, and it does a lot of hidden work, and I really enjoy seeing that stuff. As we see the Ornn Horn going out, gonna be able to knock only Spurg up, but Espen is gonna pay the price, and Spurg just getting locked down and dead, and there is a double kill for Autopsy, and this should be a pretty free Baron as Ryoklu is on the bottom side of the map. So Drink More Water in position to just roll this game over and have a pretty clean 2-0 sweep of the Penguin Pajama Party.
Autopsy might have made a couple of like micro mistakes in lane where he could have gotten out, but his ability to like just pull trigger in the middle in these mid-game fights has been invaluable, right? That's how they got the kill into A-Barn. That's how they just picked out Spurg and Espen. The man is doing Ornn things. He just hit level 14, so the ornaments will start coming through. Going to make, I mean, what's Infinity Edge called when it's upgraded? I'm sure it's something goofy too.
Let me do a double check. Well, it's still Infinity Edge, so I'll let you know when it upgrades. Nope.
Okay. Okay, so he hasn't had the chance to click on him yet. I don't think he gave it to anybody else. No. Double Radiant Virtue, though. Man, I love that item. It's so expensive. I guess Swiss thought he had enough money this time to do it. So much healing that gets pumped out. You're just ridiculously tanky with those pulsing in your backline. Another thing to just keep the Jinx alive. But what I was going to call out is for the Baron, they did trade the Dragon over to the side of PPP, so they are sitting on Soul Point at this time. So if they can find a catch in about 4 minutes and set up a really advantageous fight, Soul is a way for them to get back in this game, as currently they're sitting at, what, 6,000 gold down?
Yep, they are, about almost 7,000. No, yeah, almost exactly 6, 6 plus, no, actually,
6, it's 6.
Yeah, it's 6 and change, 25 minutes in. Soul Point for the Penguin Pajama Party, but Drink More Water knocking on the door of this base. Bottom inner turret being just poked away, and once Wojtek gets in range with that Gatling gun, it is going to get melted. There it goes with the Baron minions. See you later. And they're going to keep rolling in Autopsy, giving it the Hulk smash with a little bit of help of his runes, and they're just kind of hovering around in this bot side jungle looking for a pick as Verd escorts his supers with a little bomb on the top. That's a fun little ornament. Speaking of ornaments, as we see, mid turret PPP has to deal with this, and the rotations from Drink More Water are rolling in. No major objectives, and so they're just going to clean out the base. Clean out the jungle of the Penguin Pajama Party and try to see if they can catch them in a rotation. Nice fat minion wave in the top side, and top inner is up, so they're just going to look to kind of work their way down and take these towers down. Void is going to walk this minion in. Baron is going to be expiring shortly, so looks like they're going to try to see if they can force a disadvantageous fight from PPP.
Again.
Yeah, he is, but there's not really much that he's going to be able to do. Yeah, Ryoklu is backing, but she's going to be late to this, and they're just going to be able to take this inner for free with one quick thwack of the hammer. There it goes, and they are continuing on. Baron is... they got a little bit of Baron left, but this is going to potentially be the final fight. If Drink More Water gets what they want, the tower is slowed down. Spurg has a pretty decent flank. He's going to roll in, jumps over, is trying to flank Verd out of the fight. Voy is alone, but the rest of the team builds a beautiful concave just to kind of push him out. And here comes the Ornhorn. A-Barn isolated out. Counter engage coming in. Ryoklu jumping in. Flashes out immediately. And here comes the front to back that Drink More Water wants. Spurg's passive is popped. Espen goes down. That's a double kill. I believe that's a triple. Yes, it is for Boy. Is that a quadra? Could this be a penta? Oh, boy. I believe that was a penta, unless someone stole that last hit.
It was a quad.
It was a quadra. Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Man. Come on, y'all. Let him have his moment.
I know. No penta to wrap it up, but, I mean, it worked perfectly. It wasn't even, like, the Tom Kenshall, the Malphite ult was there, the Zac, they didn't have a chance to layer it because Swiss isn't CC'd. It doesn't matter if she's in the air, just get gobbled up by the frog and marched right out of there. Jinx came back on the back end, free swinging because all of the engage tools were down. And that was all she wrote. Protect Mr. President, working twice in a row, and we have ourselves a 2-0 series to start off week 4.
Yeah, that was just not a surprising result, but definitely a emphatic finish. Wow.
Sorry.
Drink More Water absolutely kind of setting themselves up for playoffs as a team to watch for. And yeah, there's a lot of different things a lot of different variations of that composition, but Wojtek able to just swing free that entire time. I do not recall if Voy won MVP.
He did get it last time.
He did get it last time, so
this one is
we can give it to him again, but I don't know.
Swiss. He was able to do what he wanted to because of the play from the supports. I will always advocate the supports get the credit I feel they are due, but come on. I mean, Swiss on the Thresh, Swiss on the Tom Kench, keeping him alive every step of the way. My vote is going over to Swiss.
I agree. I think that Swiss did so much work. We say, oh, he's so much better on Thresh, but he also executes. He's so consistent, and that's hard to do, especially when there's the pressure of, oh, you have your best champion, you better do well. And he's just so reliable and consistent. And then, yeah, like you said, on the Tom Kench, just withstanding the barrage of 3, 4 champion dives repeatedly in lane and just setting his carry up to carry. Absolutely.
Okay,
so let's get Swiss in here. Yeah, get him in here. Hello, Mr. Swiss Army Cabinet. Congratulations. You are our MVP for this series. How you feeling?
That's cool. I'm feeling good.
Your enthusiasm is palpable.
Truly, I've never heard anybody so excited.
I was having a conversation.
Sorry. Surprise, you're on stream. Congratulations.
That's all good. That's all good.
Anyway, no, all joking aside, you got your pocket pick Thresh game 1. You busted out the Mr. President, jump in my mouth game 2. Let's talk about the Thresh game first. A couple of you just absolutely smashed that lane just so hard. It landed so many different hooks. Your kill participation was through the roof. What was the game plan going in? And, how did you feel about getting that Thresh and then be able to kind of do what you did in that game 1?
When we saw that they left up Zillion and Thresh double pocket picks for our team, that I'm chilling. I know that if we just kind of play the way we all normally play with those champions, then we're just gonna ride it out.
Yeah, no, you absolutely did. And yeah, in game 2, they got wise. They remembered, oh right, he's pretty good at this champion, and they banned the Thresh. And so you went for the Tom Kench. How did you have to adjust your play style, going from kind of one of your favorite pocket picks to a champion that does a lot of things well, but really needs. He's a very situational. He needs a lot of things to kind of go right, and needs to be positioned well, and just a lot of different things need to happen.
Well, he's basically just a walking lantern that turns here into carry and vulnerable. So I just picked an ability from Thresh that game and played it.
Oh man.
But no, when you see that many buttons that are reliant to hit the Jinx all one after another, Tom Kench is the only champion in the game that really disrupts that combo in a meaningful way. So I got last pick of the draft, and it was a good champ for it. So
yeah, no, you certainly did, and Voy is flaming me right now for teasing y'all Canadians for not having as much enthusiasm, and I know that you are just being humble. You act like you've been there before, and I completely understand. So congratulations, Rudy. Any questions for our exceptional MVP?
The Baron steal on Thresh, honestly, that entire interaction, you managed to get Waj out of a very, very tight corner with a clutch long ring lantern. I think you've just flashed the Baron wall yourself to get out and then pull him with you. And then through the hook backwards, secured the Baron with that one. Clutch AF in game 1 to solidify that victory. Just excellent support play all around. I guess what I want to ask you, as a fellow support player, how are you justifying the Radiant Virtue purchase there over something like Locket? When you already have one on your team. Game 2. Because I don't think you got Radiant Virtue game 1. You went Locket on Thresh.
Oh, I don't know. Radiant's broken item. That's all I got.
It's just so expensive.
Yeah, but when you're already snowballing,
not when you're ahead.
Yeah,
weren't you guys
win more item as a support?
Yeah.
The active when you pop your ulti is just so broken.
It's so much healing.
I think you had 5 assists. It was 5 assists or 4 assists at 7 minutes. So yeah, I think you can be a little greedy in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Only thing I have left is something that we did miss on stream is in the plays channel for TCL right now. I recommend everyone go and check it out. It's Verd kind of styling on Zillion with that interaction you were talking about against the Urgot. We didn't get to see it on stream, so just want to shout out Verd for that excellent play. But beyond that, just, well done, Captain. You pulled your team together, and honestly, one of the most like I don't want to say rigid because that's the wrong word, but like strictly stuck to game plans that I've seen from you all this
Regimented.
season. When your game plans tend to be pretty transparent,
Disciplined.
right? Like just make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
Waj can do what he wants to.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And hey, you pulled out another 2-0. Feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta shout out the whole team, honestly. Like, Trevor's an insane carry, but like, Autopsy and Verd, my man played 2 games of Ornn in the top lane,
Oh, he
and that
crushed it.
second game where everything is literally on Waj, my man
Mhm.
did like less than 1k damage, like less than the Jinx. Like, my man is on Ornn duty and smurfing it. Like,
Yeah.
Every top laner
Verd is
plays Ornn.
so stable. Like, he's got so many
Yep.
picks that fit and just slot in perfectly with our teams. It's a really good group of guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have one last question, then we'll let you go. Because I saw it as a potential, and I think I saw it a couple of times. Was the get zillion Ornn levels part of that strategy? Just because I think of the interaction, I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of broken if you use it properly.
Oh, you need to ask Verb for that one. That
All
champ
right.
he's the
I'm
only
just
person
curious.
I've ever met who plays that champion and understands it. So, like,
Awesome. Any final words for your adoring fans watching?
nah. Just want to shout out the boys again. All 5 of us played hella good and happy with the games tonight.
All right. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team and
Nice.
enjoy your
Thanks, guys.
victory. Yeah, thanks,
Cool.
man. All right, Rudy. I think that's going to do it. That says it all. Humble, as always, in victory and defeat. A true Canadian.
Honestly.
Just representing his country so well around us degenerate Americans. Anyway, that is going to do it for us. Rudy, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah. Great 2-0 and happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah, happy Halloween, Rudy. Thank you so much for a wonderful cast. As always, big shout out to Hippogriff on the production, telling us everything we need to know when we need to know it. I am Jaws, and thank you so much for joining us. And I will just give one quick shout out for what the schedule is going to be moving forward. Tomorrow, we are going to have Ride or Die versus the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. And on November 2nd, which I believe is Thursday, we're going to have the Snakerdoodles versus Phoenix Rising, the recently rebranded Tails Never Fails. Do not miss those. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.